Warranty Wire.
Customer trust.
AI.
Every day in the warranty world.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Warranty Wire, the place for real talk about warranty in the age of automation, AI, and elevated expectations. And on today's episode, as you might see, we have something a little bit different for you. So unlike our usual guests of Becca and Mark, they haven't kind of had a complete transformation. We do have some new guests on the podcast today. And today we're going to take you behind the scenes at Axiom Connected a little bit more and introduce you to some of the people who actually make it all happen. So today we have Megan and we have Neeka. So welcome, guys.
Thanks, Matt. Excited to be here.
So for today's podcast, like I said, we're going to switch up a little bit. You won't hear as much from me, thank God, for everybody who's watching today. So you're going to hear a lot from Neeka and from Megan. So we've talked a lot about Axiom Connected through previous podcasts, and we thought it was probably about time to give you a proper look behind the curtain, because we talk about a lot about what we do, but really it's the team behind it all that makes the difference. So today we've got pretty much the backbone of Axiom Connected. These guys play a huge role in how we deliver for our partners. So we're going to hear a bit from those guys today, about really what makes Axiom Connected special and a little bit about their roles here. So first up, we have Megan Taylor. So Megan is our senior business analyst. And despite her youthful looks, Megan has been with us for many years, and is basically the engine behind how we design and we deliver client setups. So Megan, welcome to the Warranty Wire. Hope you're ready for your 15 minutes of fame.
I'm ready. I've been waiting. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, we have many millions of viewers now, so you'll be an instant hit. So get ready.
No doubt.
So Megan, if you wouldn't mind just kind of starting off a little bit and just tell the viewers a little bit about yourself and kind of your role at Axiom.
Yeah. So even though I look like I'm 13, I've actually been here for 7 years. I am our senior business analyst. So basically all that means is that I translate between business and our development teams. I get the pleasure of speaking 17 languages for all of our moving parts and kind of the middle person to make sure that what our client needs gets done and gets done the right way.
And you do it well. So I guess, Megan, I wanted to kind of start off with a few topics just to give the viewers a little bit more of an insight into kind of, what you do, and also given that you've been here for such a long time, kind of giving a little bit of insight into the industry and kind of how it's changed over time. So when it comes to kind of creating custom campaigns and custom setups for clients, what would you say the most important thing is?
The most important thing is having a system that allows you to turn out that work without the development. So everything for everybody is always custom, right? Everybody wants something different. They want it their way. And that's what we specialize in. We specialize in flexibility. We specialize in turning out unique instances and variations of our software products based on client needs, right? Nobody's the same. Everybody needs something different. And that's one of the core things at Axiom Connected is that we have the ability to turn those things around and give clients exactly what they're looking for without an 18-month development cycle. So that's where we highlight. We're flexible and we can do it fast.
Absolutely. And I think, we've seen that over the last probably 12 months in particular, where we've developed a lot more of an agile approach to things. And, we'll come on to probably a little bit more around automation and AI as we go forward. But in particular with the technology that you've seen over the last sort of 12 months or so, has that played a really big impact for you in terms of how you do your role?
Yeah, so I have a little bit different type of role here. And like I said, I'm the translator. So our great business team comes up with these wild, crazy ideas, and I'm the one that gets to make it happen. And we've implemented AI across all teams, but specifically on my team, having the AI has really made it possible to turn out these client deliverables in record time. The efficiency, the accuracy is there. It's a huge benefit for everyone, for the clients, for us. And we've seen that play out in the last 12 months. We have been able to launch custom things for many different clients in a record time. And that's one of the winning factors at Axiom Connected is our delivery and our speed, and how we integrate with those clients.
Yeah, and we've talked a lot in previous podcasts around automation and AI, and there's probably a lot of businesses and a lot of clients and sellers out there who are either nervous to adopt AI or just don't really know where to start. And I know, we've started from the ground up in terms of implementation of AI, and it's very much been a gradual thing. But kind of where have you seen our trajectory, even over the last 3 months, forgetting 12 months, but over the last 3 months?
Yeah, even the last 3 months, one of the core products that we're building, especially for those clients that are nervous to introduce automation and introduce AI into their platforms, into their business practices, we've been focusing really heavily on our journey application. And it's a great stepping stone for those clients and businesses who are not sure about AI, not sure about automation, have those kind of outdated manual processes, and we make it easy, right? Our journey workflow designer allows you to drag and drop, place things where you want them, set up those constraints that apply to your business. So it's a great foot in the door for our clients, not only from an efficiency standpoint, but from application system usage. You can build what you want. So we've effectively taken our coding expertise, our development expertise, and put it into a model that's flexible for a business user. It's easy to understand. And we've basically made it a plug and play option for custom development for any of our clients. And without AI, that wouldn't have happened nearly as quick as we have. And we're even taking it a step further, right? We're building a warranty brain. So being able to deliver and answer questions for customers and look things up and search products and contracts, that warranty brain effectively lets you take all of the industry knowledge, and apply it in a way that you can inject that into your customer experiences, into your internal client experiences, your internal users, where they get that benefit, that access to all the knowledge. And AI definitely isn't going anywhere, right? It's here to stay. And the fact that we've gotten in on a ground level, introducing that into our applications, into our teams, has set Connected up for success. Um, we're the experts, and that's the great thing about getting in on the ground level. Everybody being a little bit unsure, and you get that added bonus of we've been doing it, we've been using it, we're comfortable with it, and now we've been able to take that and leverage it to put it in the hands of our clients so they can start using it without needing
And
a
that
developer.
exactly. And that is an excellent teaser for the next podcast as well. So thank you for lining that one up. Um, I guess as a final question then, so you deal with clients directly, you deal with clients kind of indirectly through various teams within the business. But when it comes to clients not being sure about kind of going digital for selling warranty, what kind of guidance or steer, if any, would you give to them?
I would say, first of all, to start, what do you have to lose? Right? It's a whole nother avenue. It's a whole nother client base. Um, what you don't have anything to lose, right? All you have is to gain by introducing it. And in our world, in today's world of AI, digital technology, computers in your hand all the time, that's the way that industry and consumers are moving, right? Nobody wants this antiquated process of spending time on the phone or sitting down in front of somebody if they can get it on their phone in 10 seconds. So increase of sales and revenue. Some of our partners have really unique styled products that allow you to have this kind of exponential revenue over and over again. Um, and we have relationships with them that clients and businesses can leverage, and you're finding lost revenue. right? As soon as that person leaves the dealership, as soon as they leave your store, they hang up the phone, they're gone. So the digital marketplace is going to stay. There's a reason why Amazon, you know, Instacart, DoorDash, everything is so big because it's digital, it's in the palm of their hand, and it's fast. So I would say, what do you have to lose? And I would say reach out to those customers, reach out to those businesses, and find money that's left sitting on the table.
Exactly. Exactly. Very, very well summarized. Very well. Well, Megan, as ever, thank you. Very insightful. Good to kind of get a peek into. I always think I know what you do in terms of a role, and then I just think no, I really don't, because you span so many different parts of the business. So thank you for that insight.
Yeah. That's the benefit of being around for a long time, and that's like a lot of our team members, right? We're seasoned, we're experienced. A lot of us came from warranty side, so we understand warranty, we understand the business, and that's how we can deliver the tech that's so good for it.
Absolutely. So next up, we have Neeka Stewart. So Neeka is our client project and operations specialist. So as with Megan's role, Neeka is massively instrumental when it comes to onboarding our clients smoothly and really understanding the needs and the requirements. So Neeka, welcome. As with Megan, you're probably going to be swamped with TV ad opportunities after this. We're we're a global podcast now, so hope you're ready for that.
No paparazzi, no photos, guys. I'm ready to take it on. It's a big undertaking, but I think I'm ready.
Is Axiom gonna hire her security guard?
Well, you never know. You never
I
know.
need one.
An entourage.
Right.
So Nika, why don't you kind of give the viewers a little bit of insight again into you and your kind of overall Axiom? What is it you do?
Yeah, so I am more on the business side of things. So I get to, as Megan kind of alluded to earlier, I get to come to her with all of our clients' crazy ideas and requests. So I'm sure that I'm her favorite person at Axiom, confirmed. But yeah, I'm kind of just both on the strategy and the execution side with clients. So I work with them on not only launching their warranty programs, but also just making sure that they're able to perform and scale over time, and kind of iterate along the way. A lot of what I do is kind of connecting the dots between their product, the customer experience, and then how they're actually positioning and selling warranty in a way that makes sense for the customers of today. I know there's a lot of information out there, especially in the warranty space. So, yeah, that's kind of primarily my focus.
Yeah, I know when it comes to, kind of when it comes to client deliverables and kind of being out there with clients, it's your job to kind of, to a degree face off with those clients and really understand, what it is they want to do. And, as with Megan, both on kind of separate parts of the business, but both do a really great job. Um, so I guess, Nika, one of the things I wanted to dig into is when it comes to implementing marketing and sales strategies for a lot of these clients, because sometimes they'll come to us with their own strategy. Sometimes it'll be, I really don't know how to start marketing to my consumers. Where have you seen clients benefit most in terms of that?
Yeah, I think the biggest shift that I see with clients who are successful in the warranty space is when they kind of stop treating it like a last second add on type of thing. I think it's kind of a thing where people just they want to get that sale, they want to just go about their normal routine, and they just go, oh wait, and by the way, and it's not explained well, and there can be some gaps there in terms of customer understanding. So I think the people that I see that are the most successful are people who are actually being, mindful about building it into the overall customer journey so that it feels like it's more of a natural part of the purchase versus just something that's kind of pushed on the end. That typically doesn't see a lot of success. And then I think, yeah, when you have marketing and sales both aligned in that way, the messaging is much clearer to the customer. The timing is better, and I think customers end up being a lot more receptive to that because it feels relevant to them. It feels more, personalized versus kind of impersonal. And so I think it just feels less forced for the customer, and it's always beneficial.
Yeah, and we've certainly seen that in terms of, some of the clients that we've worked with kind of varying as well when it in terms of that marketing medium. So, some they know their client base well, so their customer base well, and it will be emails work best versus postcards versus, kind of tailored hyperlinks to a quote site. So yeah, is that kind of way you're seeing it as well? Is not just the timing, but the medium as to how they outreach as well?
Absolutely. And I think there's times, a customer or our client may come to us, right? And they say, um, this is how I want to do it, or this is how we currently do it. And sometimes that's not always the right way for their particular customer. So it's kind of up to us and me and our team to kind of also say, you know, tell us about your business, tell us about your end goal, tell us about your customer. And so we can offer them a solution that makes sense versus just, something that they're used to or something that, is just checking the boxes basically.
Makes sense. So, in terms of some of the clients that you work with and some of the clients that you speak to, a lot of these are primarily in the insurance space, or they are primarily in like the OEM space. When it comes to kind of moving into selling warranty, what, if any, kind of hints and tips would you have for anyone looking to move into that?
Yeah, I think aside from some of the stuff Megan already mentioned about not being afraid of new technology, not being afraid of AI and automations, I'd say if you're getting into this space, it's important again to really keep it focused. So make it easy to understand the customer. In warranty, there can be a lot of confusing terminology. There can be a lot of different coverages and options and components that are covered and not and things like that. So make it easy to understand. I think if your customer has to start thinking too hard about what they're getting, you probably already lost them before you've even started. And I've seen that happen too, with clients in the past. So I think how you present it is just important as your product. You can have the best product in the world. You can have the most coverages that you can offer. But if you're not making it make sense to them, if you're not explaining it in a way that's, just a good entry point for someone that doesn't know a lot about this, it's just not going to work. So making sure that not only you're positioning it in the right way, that your teams who are either on site or any customer experience type teams that you have, that they understand the messaging and they understand what they're supposed to be explaining to the client is super important as well. And then I think just the biggest thing too is not to just think about the sale. We see a lot in the warranty space. Folks are very concerned with what's the revenue, what's the money amount, what's the dollar amount that I'm getting back. I think the real impact that we see is when there's a full customer experience that's all married together. So from the claims to the customer support to even the different channels that they're purchasing the product in, that is what really will build the trust with the customer and keep them coming back. I think especially in this day and age, there's so many different products and things being, you open your phone and there's 800 things being sold to you immediately. So if you can really keep it focused and provide that value, the customer will keep coming back, which we have seen especially in our subscription models. We've seen a very good life cycle with customers staying on with those products for that reason.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And I think, that's where we would always encourage clients to not kind of work backwards from necessarily a revenue or a bottom line target, but actually build from the ground up. Because as we know, you deliver a good customer experience, you deliver a good claims experience, then the revenue will follow and the tenure of those customers will follow. Um, so I guess on that point then, just as a final question, what would you say it is about warranty that makes it such a lucrative space for both sellers and for customers as well?
Yeah, I mean, warranty is really great because when you do it right, it's a win-win on both sides. For customers, they get that peace of mind. I think, protection products are something that is huge and a great tangible value, especially in today's economy. It's customers are spending their hard-earned money on their assets, things like their vehicles, et cetera. And so having that protection option is huge for people and can save them, in a pinch. I mean, there's so many folks, in the US and around the world that are living paycheck to paycheck, right? So it's a super tangible product. And I think for the business, it's not just an additional revenue stream. It's not just a way to get the sale. It's a way to kind of deepen that customer relationship. And especially even on the dealer side, we've seen we have certain solutions that you can kind of push notifications out to your customers on a monthly basis. You can keep in contact with those customers in a way that's focused and can deepen the relationship with the customer. So I think if you approach it in the right way, you don't have to choose between revenue and providing a good customer experience. You can actually do both. You can make your money. You can make a lot of money in this space, right? But if you do it the right way, it's super beneficial for both the customer and business.
Well, thanks, Neeka. That's massively insightful. And I think, both of you, I think, have done a really good job of summarizing a lot of the topics that we've touched on in previous podcasts. But, there's only so much that Becca, Mark, and I can preach. But if we kind of thought, having you guys on here that are kind of doing this day in, day out, same as we are, it just kind of adds to that. So I'm assuming we can sign you guys up for the next 6 podcasts.
You talk to my agent about that, Matt. I'm gonna have to hire some people, so I don't know. We're gonna see about that.
We've got client deadlines.
S- s- Well, we'll it's a case of don't call us, we'll call you then, I think.
Yeah, there we go. We'll call you. We'll let you know.
Okay. Well, hopefully everybody you've enjoyed this kind of special edition of the Warranty Wire to meet some of the incredible team that we have. In future episodes, I think we'll probably start to introduce you to some other members of the team as well. There's such a huge variety of talent at Axiom Connected, and we're very lucky as a business in that regard. But we've always said, and I think Neeka, you mentioned this, it doesn't always matter how good the product is. If you don't have the team to execute it, then in my opinion, it kind of doesn't really matter. So massive thank you guys for joining us today and for kind of giving us a bit of a peek behind the curtain at Axiom.
Absolutely.
Thanks for my 15 minutes of fame.
You're welcome. So thank you for everybody for tuning in again for this episode of the Warranty Wire, and we hope to see you again next time.
Warranty Wire.
Customer trust.
AI.
Every day in the warranty world.